Welcome to Crazy Hank TV and another episode of Big Brother. How's it going, JP?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. I still can't get the guy's voice down, but he's more energetic, more livelier than I guess I am. I'm just like, Big Brother. I don't know.
It's not your calling, Jack.
It's not my. I guess it's not. I couldn't do like a. I do like the fact they have a 5-minute recap. I go, do I need a 5-minute recap after I just watched it Wednesday? It's Thursday. I don't know. I don't, but you know, I get it. It's better than having 5 minutes of commercials.
You're more your introduction. It's more of like a Price is Right than a Big Brother.
Oh, come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
There you go.
All right. If you're listening, Drew Carey, I'm ready. I'll make the move to Los Angeles to be the guy that tells people to come on down.
The new Johnny Olsen.
Yeah. What if I can't pronounce the name though? What if it's a name like, I'm sorry, we can't call him this person. I cannot pronounce their name.
Just mumble it like TGI Fridays does when they do the happy birthday song.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Anyway, we had another week of Big Brother, and just let people know ahead of time, we watched Sunday's episode.
We were caught up to Sunday. Yep.
So we're current as far as what the general public has seen, and there are some spoilers out there. And JP will have that at the end of the episode. But for now, we'll keep this up. We'll keep it just what everyone has seen through Sunday, the live streaming stuff. If you've seen that, then we'll talk about that at the end of the show. But I thought it was an interesting week.
This was an exciting week.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I didn't like how Nicole was being treated. I'm sure a lot of people didn't.
I thought she was being bullied, and I was exciting at the beginning of the show when they introduced Bella, and I was excited that she was a neighbor of mine. I mean, she's literally the next town over from me.
Yeah.
And I hope I never cross paths with her.
She just seems like she's just not a nice person.
No.
And, you come into a room to talk to someone, and then you don't allow them to speak. If I'm Nicole, I'm say, look, I go, when you go home, or when this is all done and you watch this and you see what actually happened, I'll accept your apology then. You can apologize to me then because you're 100% wrong. That's how I would have said it, because she just was badgering her. And Nicole is, I don't know, she just seems like a sweet person who's, just wants to be everybody's friend. And I can't believe she even made another attempt to try and make her point, and then they just cut her off. They wouldn't listen to her.
I thought she was Bella was just, oh my gosh, I was getting angry at that moment. I wanted her to give Nicole a chance.
Yeah.
Nicole was at least trying to apologize and they have to live in the same house together.
Right.
I think Nicole realized that, and I think Bella was, she's getting all Jersey Shore on her. She just wouldn't let her.
Don't you think Tommy should have stepped in and said something?
Oh, definitely. Oh,
yeah. He just sat there going, it was like going, well, at least come on. I mean, he did try to say then, hey, can we do this? But he should have stepped in and said, come, Bella, let her tell her side.
But you know what? If Tommy steps in, then it's almost like he's then starting to argue with his alliance. I think that's kind of in the back of his mind where he just didn't want to interfere.
Yeah, but then you know what? Then don't go there.
Yeah, walk out.
Walk out and say, hey, I can't listen to this or something. But it was ugly, and it's funny how everyone seems to have an issue with Bella. Kimmy, who was her friend, they were great friends at first. They almost got into a fight.
Uh-huh.
They put hands on each other. So this should be handwriting on the wall that Bella is not the person, you want to hang out with.
No, and unfortunately that's tainted her. It's tainted Nick. I mean, they're now at the bottom of that alliance, more or less.
Right. Well, you had the vote.
Yep.
And I was like going, man, I thought for sure Nicole was going to go home.
Yeah, that surprised me a little bit. I wasn't expecting that. Even kind of knowing ahead what the mood of the house was based on the spoilers that I read, watching it live, I was a little surprised I mean, it was a close vote,
Right.
the closest one we've had this season. So we know now that there is a divide in the House.
Right.
But yeah, I'm happy. I'm definitely a fan of Nicole's.
Yeah. Like I said, I was like, well, I liked them both. I like Cliff and I like Nicole. I was like, God, I don't want either one to go home. But going back to bullying, you have Jack who's going on Kimmy about her cold drink being in the refrigerator. And I'm like going, dude, are you just a control freak?
Yeah, he's it's funny how this season you could see who the villains are going to be.
Right.
Noah's a villain. Jack's a villain. I mean, he was just riding her about that. It's just, I mean, it's so petty.
And I think she handled it pretty well.
Oh, definitely.
Well, if we all put it, there'd be no room in there. Well, okay, I won't do it anymore. It just like I wonder if he would have done that if he didn't have the so-called power where he was in the Power Alliance. If he was like on the bottom, would he because he walks around pretty cocky. There was a thing where he kept telling Ovi to stay out. Ovi, hurry up.
Yeah.
And he's like, come on, man. I'm in the house. Me personally, I said, no, I'm good here. You guys can go somewhere else.
Yeah,
if I'm on the outside anyway, screw it. I'm not kissing anybody's butt.
This is definitely a season where you've got such a dominant group of people, and they're just being, it would be almost like it's uncomfortable just living in that house with these people.
Right. They're not likable.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And that's the problem. And they like I said, they just kept keeping people out. Hey, we're talking here. Well, if you know that they're talking, that you. To me, at this point, if the people on the bottom don't rise up, and this week was a perfect chance for that to happen, unless people play all their different stuff. Their special the stuff they have, their the diamond veto and all the different stuff they have. If they don't do it this week, it's stupid because Cliff has set them up to kind of open up the game a little bit and break the six shooters. There's so many different. It's like every group has to have a name. I can't keep track of all of them, but I think it's six shooters.
The six shooters, yep.
I mean, Nick and Bella should realize, okay, I'm not on there. I keep waiting for Sam to go, when am I going to stop doing this and vote another way? At this point, you need to open up and change the game. And if they don't, then it's going to be the six shooters are going to run the table with it, I think.
Yeah, it's almost like this week you have three divisions in the house. You've got the six shooters, which Mickey, Holly, Jack, Sis, Tommy, and Christy. You've got the four outcasts of Cliff, Nicole, Jessica, and Kat.
Right.
And then you've got Isabella, Nick, and Sam.
Yeah.
Just all off by themselves. I mean,
right.
This is a great opportunity, and I mean, we'll jump in. Obviously, we had the camp comeback activity. Cliff was voted. Cliff was the final eviction.
Right.
So he was part of camp comeback. They had the tournament, which was that carnival game that you see rolling the ball into the target, which Cliff just dominated.
No, it wasn't even close. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I mean, I don't even think he dropped one, if I remember correctly.
He dropped, maybe the first one, I think, and then after that it was like, boom, it's in, boom, it's in, boom, it's in.
He just crushed it, and then Cliff comes back and wins the head of household this week,
right? Which I thought it's huge. I mean, it's just huge. But I did, going to the people that got voted out, I felt really bad for David. I hope he gets another chance to play the game because he really didn't have a chance. Mickey screwed him over in the beginning. And to be fair to Mickey, that was, I think we talked about before, that I think David would have been a player. I think he's someone he's smart. He's good looking. He's personable. I think he's definitely someone that could have won, or at least made a play for winning it because he, like I said, he knew what was going on. Just by observing. So I think Mickey, in that sense, did a good thing by getting him out of there.
Yeah, he definitely deserves a chance to come back into this game. The fact that he figured everything out, I think they need to bring him into – they've done seasons in the past where they've brought players back and have basically set it up where those players can't be evicted for the first couple of weeks.
Oh, really?
So I would love to see him come back in a position like that.
Because he really didn't. He didn't really have a chance in the game. I mean, he could have won the ball challenge, but it just Cliff was just a master at it. So he didn't really. He was emotional about it. I honestly felt bad for him. I don't know the guy. Maybe he's a jerk in real life. I don't know, but he's somebody I would love to see back just because I felt bad for him. And then you have Kat. I mean, I can't figure out Kat. I just can't figure out what she's playing. I can't figure out her game. She's a wild card as far as I'm concerned, because you don't know, because she was, when they were talking with Cliff, was talking with her and Nicole and Jess, and she's just kind of going, well, I'm in my alliance of one. So
I think just the four of those people that aren't really latched into an alliance, the Cliff, Nicole, Jessica, and Kat, I think they just kind of have their own thing going at this point.
But it's not enough.
It's definitely not enough. That's why Cliff needs to use his week to that advantage.
Right.
Try to break up. I mean, they know there's at least a 6-person alliance in this household now. And I think, what would be a great move on their part is to focus on that alliance, try to bring Nick and Bella into your alliance.
Right.
So you can kind of tilt the numbers, but still keep Nick, Bella, and Sam at the bottom of your alliance.
Right. But to me, an easy, Sam knows he's the ninth.
Oh, yeah.
In the ninth, he knows that. Yes. So to me, it doesn't seem like it'd be that hard. Bella is just, again, she's a wild card because her game doesn't make sense. She's all over the place. She tells everybody everything, but maybe this is a wake up call when they got blindsided by the vote. Nick kept saying, you could have trusted me.
See, a smart move for me right now would be to bring Nick and Bella kind of over to your side.
Yeah.
And let Bella kind of float her way to the end, because she's not going to get votes from the jury.
Right.
Especially if you pull a Nicole or Cliff make it to the end with her. She's definitely unfavorable in winning in a situation like that.
Okay.
But so we have Cliff, who's head of household.
Can she make it? Can she? Yeah.
Can Bella make it to the end? I think it depends which power, who maintains the power of the house. If it's the 6 shooters, no, they're going to target her right away. They're going to target Nick right away. They're going to probably turn Sam on them also. So I think Nick and Bella are basically. I think Nick and Bella are basically whatever alliance is in power for the up and coming weeks. I think they're going to just be in trouble.
Yeah. Is it too early though to say, okay, if you're thinking about the final end game, okay, I got to bring Bella with me, or do you just see how it plays out? Okay, if it gets down to like 7 people, all right, my goal is to bring Bella with me.
Yeah.
Because that's because right now you still have, I think, far too many people to say, okay, my goal is to bring Bella with me.
I think you have 10 people left in the house at this point. I don't see what you benefit from bringing like a Nicole or a Jessica or a Kat with you to the end. I think Bella right now is the only person who you could probably count on other people in the house just not voting for her except for Nick.
Now, do you think Kat's strategy is, because I said I didn't understand her strategy, she's like a team of one. Do you think it's just to play under the radar, and then she gets to the finals and she gets put in a favorable, she gets going against someone, say she goes against Isabella, it's her and Bella in the finals, Kat would probably obviously win. So maybe that's her strategy, is to just play under the radar and just go as far as you can that way?
I think her strategy is just to kind of be everyone's friend almost. I think she's not looking to, if you latch on with the one alliance, you've got almost half the house against you. And if you latch on with the other alliance, you've got half the house against you.
Right.
I think at this point, I think at this point the smart move is just to stay out of the Nick, Bella, Sam alliance.
Yeah.
Which obviously she's doing. I think by her saying she's just a one person alliance means she's just not latching on to anybody.
Yeah. I just again, I go to the thing is that you got, that there's that 6 strong.
Yeah.
At least we think there's 6 strong.
Right.
That you think Cliff's like going, okay, we need to get some numbers here. We need to counterbalance it, but it doesn't seem like Kat wants to play that game.
No, I think she's just going to, it's almost like she wants to not even say who she wants to vote for until the very end.
And maybe it's because she was on the block early. I mean,
sure.
First week we thought she was going to go home.
That's true.
Or go to camp comeback, but maybe that changed her game. Say, okay, I'm just going to be, because she tried to latch on to Mickey, and Mickey kind of kicked her to the curb, saying, "Oh, we can't even be friends."
The uncomfortable breakup.
Yeah.
I think Kat's almost like the type of player where once she learns who the house is targeting that week, she's just going to throw her vote in that direction. Even though, who did she vote for this week? She voted for Nicole this week. So she was, sticking with the what she probably thought was going to be the majority.
The majority, yeah.
Yeah. But so, I'll jump ahead to Nick. All right, so Cliff wins HOH. He immediately puts up probably the 2 strongest players in the game,
which I thought was a good move.
A fantastic move. It's a good move because regardless of who wins the power of veto, you can almost guarantee that one of those people is now at risk of being evicted.
Right.
And depending on the brightness of this house, here's a good opportunity to get rid of one of the strongest players. They will not even be a part of the jury.
Well, say it comes down, everything stays the same, and you have Mickey and Jack.
Right.
I would think the House would vote out Jack, even though Mickey has played probably he's probably a little bit more dirtier with his game. He's made some moves that people may not know about. The whole throwing when he voted for he was the rogue vote, and then he kind of blamed Nicole for it.
Right.
He's playing a very creative game, but I think Jack has kind of come across. Well, from what we've seen, he's comes across as a jerk.
Jack is the one who he's manipulated the most people in the house, I think.
Right. So I think if that came down to that, I'd have to think that people would vote Jack out.
I agree.
But that hurts Mickey's game, though.
Well, it hurts. It hurts Mickey's game. It hurts. Which align the 6 shooters. What'd you say? There's like 16 alliances at this point.
Yeah, exactly. With their 16 different names,
all with different numbers in them. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
it tilts the balance of the house, and Cliff is obviously in control unless Christy uses her
diamond veto.
There was some conversation about using that. Cliff is basically in control, and I think the smart move on his part is just to focus on the 6 shooters. If one of those people should win the veto and Christy doesn't use her power, I think you just need to just focus on that group and just try to break them up. At least even the numbers out, and then try to recruit, Bella, Nick, and Sam into your alliance.
Now, what if you're able to break the 6 shooters? You're able to get Jack out of there, and so now there's only 5 of them left. Now, if you're Cliff and Nicole, you say, okay, I don't want to have Bella and Nick in my group. Let's go after Sam and maybe Christy and maybe Tommy and bring those people into your group, because, like I said, the 6 shooters are down to 5.
Right.
So do you try and bring those people in?
I think Tommy and Christy have to realize in the 6 shooters, they're the weakest players.
Yes.
Christy has her power, but I think it's a good opportunity to start focus on some of those stronger people as well as the power couples.
Right. Well, like I said, the couples, I don't get why you would become.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
That's my Alexa.
Take a look at the help section in your Alexa app.
Anyway, so Alexa wanted to join in on the show.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. Take a
I just unplugged Alexa. She comes back on, then she's taking control of the house. But anyway, lost my train of thought. But I don't know. Like I said, if I didn't have to, if I'm Nicole, Cliff, I don't want to have to work with, especially Bella. I don't want to have to work with Bella.
Right.
I mean, to go further in the game, I'll swallow my pride. I'll swallow it. To win the whole thing, I'll be friends with anybody. But I'd rather not have to do it if I could bring some other people in. I mean, I would on the surface, I would say, oh yeah, we're good. But the minute I'm thinking, okay, the minute I have a chance, I'm voting at least Nick out, and I'll try and keep Bella to the end best I can. But wouldn't really want to have to work with people like that.
I'd probably want to try to move. If I'm Cliff, Nicole, Jessica, and Kat, I'd probably want to try to grab Tommy and Christy. The house does not know that they're a couple at this point.
Right.
So I would probably try to grab them and then focus all that's left at this point is couples.
Right.
And I would just try to start breaking up those couples.
Yeah. Because it looks like Holly and what's her name? Annalise, they don't really play the game. I mean, they're just, from what I've seen, they're just kind of following whatever what their alliance is telling them to do.
Right. Oh yeah.
And then of course Elise has trouble spelling Julie. So that could be a problem. We didn't talk about that challenge. I'm okay touching the cockroaches other than the snakes, but I thought that was an interesting challenge, I thought.
Yeah, they obviously dove deep into the Indiana Jones playbook with cockroaches,
snakes. Yeah.
I was ready for the giant rolling boulder challenge.
That would be fun, wouldn't it?
No.
The contestant that doesn't survive is the next person voted out of Big Brother.
You have to survive the face melting challenge.
Yeah. But yeah, interesting week. I enjoyed it again. Like I said, I think what I like now about the show, you still have the drama and you have the hugging out. Again, the hugging afterwards cracks me up because I'll tell you right now, you put me on the block and you vote me out. Yeah, I'll hug you, but I probably want to punch you in the gut too. That's just me. But it's no hard feelings. It's no hard feelings. Yes, it is. You voted me out.
I like how even I think it was Nick said once Cliff won the HOH, the first thing he whispered into Nick's ear when he was giving him the necklace was, "You're safe. Don't worry."
Yeah.
So obviously, Cliff, and then we, obviously based on his nominations, we know it, but Cliff was targeting, Jack and Mickey.
Yeah. Well, I think Cliff is smart. I mean, Mickey was trying to snowball him. Jack, I respect your game. But you put me up there twice. You really you don't talk to me. You don't play with me. Some of these guys, I think they think they're smarter than they are because if you're not, like I said, they lock themselves in a room and keep other people out. I mean, it doesn't take brain surgery to realize, oh, I'm not part of their alliance. I've always said, like on Survivor, it's a huge mistake when you see like a group of 4 or 5 people go and exclude the other people. I go, that's just dumb strategy. And to me, and Cliff's weakness is he likes the camera, and he likes Cliff. What does he call he's trying to get Cliff Cliff Notes or Cliff whatever.
Yep.
He's trying to get his followers or whatever. He's got to stop talking to the camera because they already bit him once.
Well, he probably also knows as a fan that there is going to be an America's vote at some point.
Yeah, I used to talk about that last week.
Checking up to the country gives you $25,000.
That's true, but I want to win the $500,000.
So do I.
That's my goal. $25,000 is nice, but $500,000 is better.
I would love to see. Oh man, I would love to see Cliff make it to the end.
Yeah.
I don't think a player like him has gone that far. in the 10 years I've been watching it, I can't even think of like somebody who you think is just going to be voted out the first week because he's a certain stereotype, Cliff being the old guy in the house.
Right.
I can't think of somebody like that making it that far. And I'm pulling for him at this point. He's definitely one of my favorites.
Well, I think if he can go this week and get one of the big wigs off, big
Right.
guns, that puts him in a position to make a run.
Yeah,
If you break up that 6, and you already, like you said, it was 8, was 9. You already have cracks in the 8, and so there is cracks in the household where I think Cliff could make a run.
I think his whole team could. I think the non-cool people can finally make a run at this if they can, especially if you have Cliff in power this week. If one of them can grab the power next week,
Right.
then we've definitely got a dominant role coming up here.
And the thing we should mention about Jack too is he might be a jerk, but he's pretty smart. He seems like he's always in. He was battling Cliff for head of household this week. He's won head of household once already. He's pretty good at the challenges. So he's a smart guy. So getting him out would also help. I think is the right move.
Do you think it was smart though that he shaved his beard?
I don't know if I don't know why he did that, but did he say why he did it?
It was a very Samson-like move in my part. I just it would make him a weaker person. I know, that wasn't explained, and I'm gonna throw this out here to you also. What was the deal with the cucumber?
I don't know. Mickey took it from Jack and said, "I'm gonna go wash it off." Right? He walks in the bathroom with it and walks back out, takes a bite, and gives it back to Jack. I'm like going, I don't know what he did with it, because I was figuring, did he do something to the cucumber? But then he took a bite out of it first and then gave it back to Jack. So I don't know.
I'm baffled. That is one of the mysteries I hope we get an answer to.
Yeah, because I don't know. I'm not sharing my cucumber with anybody. Like that. I don't.
That's what I like about you, Jack. I'm very comfortable around you. You're not going to share your cucumber with anyone.
No, not like that. I'm not.
No, I don't mind. Sometimes, it's awkward sometimes, but a close hug with you is fine.
Okay, there we go. So yeah, I forgot about the cucumber. You brought that up. That was on Sunday's episode, right?
That was Sunday's episode, and the other highlight of this week's episodes was in slow motion. Brussels sprouts, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. But is that all we got to talk about this week? And you want to get to the spoilers?
I'm ready to jump ahead a few. I'm just looking at my notes. I think that's everything I have.
Yeah, it's, like I said, Cucumber Gate is still ongoing, and maybe we'll find out if one of them gets eliminated. Maybe we'll find out what the heck's going on with my computer. I'll be back here in a second. There we go.
There you are.
It just went on its own. It went cucumber crazy. So okay, this section will be for spoilers. If you don't want to listen to spoilers, subscribe to this channel and tell a friend and all that different stuff. But now we're going to move on to the spoilers.
Okay, so here's what the live feeds are saying. So as of this morning, they have had the veto challenge and they've also had the veto ceremony. So again, just to recap, we got Cliff nominating Mickey and Jack. At whatever the veto challenge was, turns out Mickey has won it.
Okay.
And he pulls himself down. From what I understand, Christy did not use her power. So it was just a regular veto ceremony. And it looks like Cliff has put Bella up in place of Mickey.
All right. Yeah, I saw that. But my question is, why would he put Bella and not somebody else? Did he do it knowing that Chrissy had the diamond power?
Well, she told him that he had it.
Yeah.
One meeting that they talked about.
Yeah. So that put it in, because I'm thinking at this point, why put up Bella? Why not put up Holly or put up Annalise?
That's exactly. Yeah. I'm a little surprised by that he didn't put up Holly. He didn't put up Sis. I think the only reason I would think that he would put Bella up is if pretty much the whole house is gunning to get her out. He's basically satisfying what the house wants. He's not getting any blood on his hands. The only bridge he'll burn is with Nick.
But the problem is, though, he's won't get any blood on his hands, but he doesn't break up the 6-shooters.
I know.
So to me, I throw it's Holly. I would have put Holly or Annalise up.
Oh, in a heartbeat. I would have put either one of those up. I'm curious to see in this week's up and coming episodes, who plants that bug in his mind. I mean, if it's the 6-shooters, then they're obviously still in power and they're just manipulating Cliff. But if Nicole, Jessica, and a Cat are in agreement with that, then we obviously have a big breakdown in the house. Somebody didn't think this through properly.
Now, is there any way, if that is what's happening, that you have Bella and Jack, is there any way that Bella survives?
According to the feeds, it doesn't look like that. It looks like the house is pretty much all
Getting Bella out.
This will probably be another landslide vote to get her out, except for Nick.
Unless maybe Cliff thinks, okay, that now that Bella's out, I can get Nick on my side. Maybe it's safer to have Nick without Bella than to have Nick and Bella.
Obviously, if Bella goes home, there's got to be some animosity between Nick and Cliff. I don't know which alliance would try to pull him in, because he would still realize he's low man on that totem pole.
Right.
So I don't.
But if you're Nick,
yeah,
and you're Nick, and okay, well, obviously, I'm low man on either group I'm in. Do you swallow you say, okay, yeah, you sent my girlfriend home, but I want to stay further in the game. Do I align myself? Is it better to align yourself with Nick, or do you go back to the 6-shooters who you can't trust any? They didn't trust you last week with the vote. Why would they trust you now? I'm just thinking, if I'm Cliff, maybe the strategy for putting Bella up there is, okay, this is what the house wants, but also she's a loose cannon. You can't trust her. She tells everybody everything. She's mean. She's, the whole long list of things. Maybe I can work better with Nick without Bella's influence, and maybe Nick can come over here. We can work with Jess, Nicole, and pull Sam over, and maybe we and Kat, and maybe we could have an alliance that could go after the 6-shooters.
I think the smart move on Nick and Sam's part is, let's say Bella gets voted out. I think Nick and Sam should align themselves with Cliff, Nicole, Jessica, and Kat and try to pick off the 6-shooters. Because if that plan works and you can get rid of those people, you are now also 2 of the strongest players in the house.
Yeah.
You can now turn on, let's say, Kat, Nicole, and Jessica, and make Cliff, Sam, and Nick your final 3.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a long shot, but it's a safe move. I think that's probably the best play for Nick at that point if Bella goes home.
So you're saying, Nick, it won't be a clean sweep. There's no way Nick's going to vote for Bella.
No, it'll still be a landslide against her. It'll probably be a 9-1 vote.
Now, what if Nick says, okay, I'm just going to vote Bella out, and she knows? Does that make for a rocky relationship going forward?
Probably. I don't think. I assume Bella's mother's watching. I don't think she's going to invite him over for dinner.
No, probably not. She's probably not going to invite him over anyway. She seems pretty old school to me, and they're already saying they love each other. I'm like going, wow.
Well, here's also another reason why I think it's a good move for Nick to just jump ship and switch to the other group. Is, he's already seen that whole group will turn against him.
Exactly.
They blindsided him in the last vote.
So maybe this, we're questioning Cliff. Like I said, I would have put up I said Holly or Annalise, but maybe this is the better move for Cliff. Maybe he's thinking down the road, like you were saying. If you can get Bella away from Nick, I think you have somebody who's a smart player, but also someone you probably want to have on your side for a while. So maybe we're not thinking that Cliff is smarter than us.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe Cliff did this on purpose. You know, like I said, he's going with the flow of the house, but he's also got a chance because he told Nick, remember, he said, "You're not going home this week. I'm not putting you up." So maybe this was his plan from the start.
Now the house can also, if they want to keep themselves clean, they could just make it a tie, and then it's up to Cliff to decide who to kick out.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
They can't do a fire challenge in the house.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, I did read, I think that was in one paragraph that I had read, where there might, not that the house was talking about it, but that would also be a safe bet for the people that are still left to just split the vote completely, let Cliff make the decision. Then the blood is on his hands, basically.
But at this point, do you think the 6 shooters would want to risk losing Jack?
Probably not. I don't think that'll happen. I do think Bella's going to go home. I don't think Nick and Sam will decide what alliance they're going to stick to until we see who the head of house is next week.
Okay. And it can't be Cliff again. You can't win it back to back.
It can't be Cliff again. So, I'm rooting for the underdogs. I would love to see I would love to see Nicole win head of house.
Yeah.
But I would love to see Nicole, Jessica, or Kat basically win it.
I like Nicole this week. I got to win it. I got to win this. And first one out.
Uh-huh. And then, we only have, at this point, what is there? There's 2 powers left. Avi's was kicked out.
Avi's was kicked out. You have Christie's.
If Christie's and still
and Jack has one, right?
And Jack has one.
Right.
And Jack's power is, what was his power again?
I don't remember.
I'm looking at my notes here, but I remember whatever Jack's power is, it's not that important.
No.
It's Christie's power is the big one in my mind. Out of the 2 that are left, that's to take the power of veto away from the head of house. That's a strong power, basically.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much, that's all we have left, I guess, at this point.
That's all we have left. Nothing but the rest.
So do we agree Bella's going to probably go home this week?
Yeah, I think I can't see any way she beats Jack. And like I said, again, just talking about it, it just seems like that was the move Cliff, maybe he wasn't hoping for, but when he knew that maybe one of them would win, his third choice was Bella. I think he put the pressure on the 6 to do something. Mickey wins, the veto right, which gets him off the hook. And he must have known that Chrissy wasn't going to use the power then too.
Yeah, I think that's what I've heard so far is that that she did approach him and say that she wasn't going to use it. I'm wondering if that's the case, then I'm guessing probably the 6 shooters were the ones that influenced Cliff to just put Bella up.
Okay. But it could, like I said, it could turn out to be a great move for Cliff. So we'll see.
We'll see what happens. So
right now I'm on Team Cliff. So
I'm on, the few people that I talk about this show with, we're both Cliff. I'm Team Cliff. I'm Team Nicole. Those are the 2 people I would love to see make it very far, or at least make it to the end.
Yeah, seem like nice people. So
they certainly do.
People I would hang out with.
Excellent.
And that's all that matters. I don't know if I'd share my cucumber with them, but I would hang out with them. Anyway, that's all we got this week. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like what we're doing here, tell a friend. Tell the Cucumber Growers of America, hey, you're with this Crazy Hank TV, and that's all I got. I'm out of here. I'm done.
It's been a great week, Jack.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
It's great to be back. No, can't beat San Diego's weather.